In this video, I'm going to do a comparison between the Ty Face Teal Teddy versus a counterfeit one. The authentic teal teddy is on the right, and he's more of a green color. The counterfeit one has more of a blue teal color. But one of the first things I noticed right away are the facial features on the authentic versus the counterfeit. The real has a V that comes down to a smaller nose. The V portion is a lot smaller, whereas on the counterfeit, the V is wider, which makes the eyes look a little bit wider. Plus, he's a little bit thicker through the bottom, and his head, the stuffing on the head is very, very stiff. When I do a comparison on the back, the seams on the back of the head, you can see that the authentic has a V, and then it's attached to the body. The counterfeit one has one stitching going down, and then it attaches to that. Another big thing is just the feel of the fabric. The authentic is very smooth when you move your hands back and forth over it. It's very luxurious. Versus the counterfeit one, when I go back and forth against the nap, you can see where it just really pulls up. It's very rough. It's just a different type of a fabric. It doesn't feel the same. The other thing I do a comparison on is the tags. This is a 2nd gen Korean tag. The font is a very typical font tag of any of 2nd gens that are out there. When I compare that to the counterfeit, there's some very big things that you notice right away. The font is different, as well as the spacing of the lettering up and down the tag. Another big thing is some of the dye starts to bleed through on the hole, right by the holes. And the punctuation on the left-hand side here where it says capital LTD, that's pretty prevalent of a counterfeit tag. The real tags has the LTD as a capital L, small t, and D. The back of the tags are very similar, but there are some slight variation in the font. The one on the left, the font is just a little bit thinner and a little bit lighter. Next, I compare the tush tags. All old Face Teddies come with a 1st gen black and white tush tag, and they have a 1993 copyright date. One of the first things I look for on either this Korean or China tush tag is I look at the word handmade. If you notice, there's a slight space between the word hand and made. When I look at the counterfeit one, first off, I see that the spacing's a little spread out, more spread out up and down. But when I look at the word handmade, I see that the word is all together. So these are just some small, slight variations. Different counterfeits have other different punctuation errors that are in there that you can pick up and notice right away. So just to recap, first thing I look at is I look at the colors of the teddies. The authentic is a more green teal, very plush fabric. Some of the counterfeits are this blue teal. They could be slight variations in color. Some come with ribbons, some don't, but you can notice the facial features. The counterfeits are more spread out. The V down the nose is bigger. The nose is bigger, eyes more spread out. These are more protruding forward, thinner. And I notice the counterfeit has the straight line down the back, and the reals have the V. On the tags, some of the things to look for are the font, the red dye that comes through here, the font on the left where it says capital LTD. And double check on the tush tags. All old Face Teddies have a black and white 1st generation tush tag with a 1993 copyright date.